My next guest was a neighbor of the Heuermann family who had his own run-ins with a man who would later become an alleged serial killer. Jimmy Mack, welcome so much. This is great to have you because very few of us can understand anything except what we're seeing on paper, but you know the man. Tell me about this really bizarre encounter you had. He freaked out about your car being parked, and it's parked in your own driveway, as I recall.
Yeah, so I live kind of like right by the train station where he lived. So I guess I'm 2 blocks over and 2 blocks down from him, right by the train station. So I just happened to be sitting on my porch the night we had the incident, and I could hear him talking on the corner. He was saying something about, here we go again. He had mentioned something about the girls, which kind of caught my attention, but people walk by there all the time. They're on their phone, so I'm not really thinking about it. About a minute later, I still hear him talking, but he's like directly in front of my house. So now when I stand up on the porch, he's looking directly at my house. So I don't think he expected me to be there. And I certainly didn't expect him to be like looking at my house. So that's when I said, I'm like, are you talking to me? And he goes, yeah. He goes, I warned the girls about the car one time. He goes, now you're going to I'll be back. And now you're going to understand.
Warned the girls? What does that mean? I've warned the girls about the car.
Well, later on, we found out, looking back, I guess maybe like 2 weeks before that, my ex's husband had dropped off the daughter, and he was kind of sticking out. The car was like where the walkway is, so he had to walk around the car. So apparently there was an incident like 2 weeks before that. Not a big deal. Nothing happened of it. But I guess looking back, that's what we think it was. Well, the problem was when he said, oh no, I'm going to handle it and I'll be back. He said it so nonchalantly. It wasn't like we were in an argument. And I'm just thinking in my head, like, something's not right here. So that's when I started walking down the block, and I kind of blocked them off. Like, you're not going anywhere, man. If you have an issue, we'll handle our business now, And
yeah.
It got pretty heated, and all the neighbors, the lights went on, the phone started ringing, everybody's calling me. They realized it was me.
Wow.
So we just left it as, all right, well, I'm not going to walk down your block anymore. He walked away. So my girl's son had come out. He was standing like the house next to me, because I walked like 3 houses up. And that's when I started walking back, I started replaying some of the things he was saying. There was a few more words said. And I heard a couple I wish I would have paid more attention to what he was saying on the corner. But there was just things that weren't making sense. So I'm like, I need to find out where this guy lives, because I know I had seen him before. So I jumped in my car. He went in the house. My neighbor directly next door called me, and I kept him on speakerphone. So I went 2 blocks. By the time I found him, he must have saw me coming, like when I pulled my car over. So he dipped in between the 2 houses. So now I don't know which house he's in. I just wanted to know. It bothered me enough that it made me say, I need to know where this guy lives.
And as I understand it, Jimmy, when you heard that there was this alleged killer in the neighborhood, you instantly thought of him, and you said you knew it was him.
Yeah, well,
there's like another incident, right? Like, I only have a couple seconds left, but there's this other incident that Rex had some run-in with your wife as well. Can you just briefly tell me what that is?
Well, about 2 or 3 weeks later, we had left it, the short of it, we had left it that he's not going to walk down my block anymore. So my wife was walking the dog, and he had looked at her. She didn't know it was him because I just described her. She figured it out. She had seen he just looked directly at her, and then saw my car wasn't there, and then walked down the block, and I kept staring at her. But she never told me until after he got arrested, because she didn't want me to make a big deal of it. But I felt uncomfortable enough in the situation. Yeah, the situation was bad enough that I told my friends where he lived, who he was, just in case something happened and he came back. So it was, it was enough for me to think something wasn't right here. And especially when I saw the house, I said, oh, that's the guy that lives in that red house. Like, so then it really kind of,
so
I
Jimmy,
didn't expect that.
Jimmy, can I just ask you just a one sentence, because I am really over, but I've got to hear from you. In one sentence, what's your reaction to all the information we're learning from the courts?
Shocked, but not shocked.
Wow. That says a lot.
Yeah. After the run-in I had with him, yeah.
Jimmy Mack, I will be calling on you again. I don't think we're done with this story, but thank you so much for doing this, especially on a Friday night. Appreciate it.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.